Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Robert Roy. Welcome to a day in the life of the trade. This is this week's Market Insight Update. Welcome, one and all. Hope you had a great week. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's start off with our disclaimer. Basically, it says, I am not an advisor. I cannot legally tell you to buy or sell a stock. It is against the law. So if you find something that you like here today, anything, my suggestion is paper trade it first before ever putting 1 penny of real trade into the trade, the setup, or the indicator, and then and only then would you do so if it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. Keep something in mind. Because I am not an advisor, I am not under trading restrictions, which means I may choose to enter or exit a trade at any given time without prior notice. Okay. Very good. So folks, let's jump right on in. Remember, the yellow bar is the last update that we did on Market Insights, right? So we had a note on, who are we at here? Apple. Actually, we had an open trade on Apple. So you can see our first open trade right here is Apple. So we got in on the 17th at 101 and a quarter. We got out on the 23rd at 102 and 3/4. And let's see what happened now. So the 23rd was our last exit, and it rolled over. Guys, it gapped down. The rules that we teach, that we follow, that you guys hear me talk about each and every week in the Market Insights, is at this point, on the open of this day, we would have been out of this trade. So on September 25th, we exit out of this trade, and we would have been out right about $100.50. The opening price was $100.51. I'm just going to use the whole number of 50. And we would have exited out of 6 contracts. We already sold 4. Right? Keep in mind, we had 4 contracts sell here. We would have wanted to sell, like to have sold 3, then 2, then ideally 1. But we got stopped out of our last 6. And that's okay. That's how the trades go, right? So let's go ahead and set some targets from this point. Basically, my bias is bearish on Amazon. On Apple, sorry about that. So the first downside target will be $100, and our next downside target will be 98.5. All right. So now let's go and take a look at our next candidate, and I want to go and look at Amazon. Amazon is one from our weekend update, which of course is a little bit longer than the interim week update, was to go ahead and enter a bearish trade if we had to pull back to the 8-period moving average, and we did. The pink line, we pulled up to it the day after. We closed above. That moving average was about 327.30, and then we had 326.99, so right about 327. We got down below there on the 24th. So we would have entered on the 25th rather, we would have entered a bearish trade on Amazon on the 25th, right about 326.5 is where we would have taken that trade. So let's go ahead and log that one in. Amazon, the 25th, and we got in at 326.5. And D is for bearish, U is up. Right, I tried to use B for both. Right, I told you it doesn't work. Okay, and then guys, on the same day, we moved down to our next level, 321.70. So right about $1 above there. Let's see. Where would we be out? Right about 322.50 would have been our exit. Again, we try to keep them around those whole numbers. So 925. 322.50, and that would have been our last exit. We would have not exited another component of that trade just yet. Right, with the current targets, if you're in the trade, guys, you've got a bearish bias. Look for the next downside to about that 322, then about 315. On the upside, we're looking at about our 8-period moving average, which takes us into 325, and then maybe 327 is the fib level right above there. All right, so that's next. That's Amazon. Let's go take a look at Caterpillar, CAT. We have an open trade on CAT right now. We got in a bearish trade on Caterpillar at 104 and three quarter. We got out of some at 103 and a half, some at 102, some at $100.25. And right now, we've pulled back up to $100.38. Not a big deal. What we're looking for is, can we get a rollover here and continue down? And if not, if it closes above our 5, this dotted line, we're out of this trade. Right? So we're still good with Caterpillar. We're not going to update anything on that. Keep the same targets as last week. Let's see. Goldman Sachs. All right, Goldman Sachs, we had an order on Goldman Sachs to get in at 185.50. Right? If we got above 185.50, and we did. Right? So we're going to take that Goldman Sachs trade. Right? Goldman Sachs. And that would have been on 9/24 at 185.50 for our bullish trade. Right? We exited the first component of the trade as well. Right? We have our next target was at 186.92. So we're looking at about 186 and a half. And that was on the same date, the 24th. 186 and a half. And then what happened? Well, then the stock continued down on the 25th. Came down far enough that it reached our pain threshold where we normally set our exits, and we were out on the 25th of the balance of the trade. Let's fix that. 925 at 184.75. And that would have been 6 contracts. And we'll see the results as we're done here. All right? So let's go take a look at, well, right now it's in a bullish neutral bias. So our entry would be somewhere up above the 8, right around that 185.5 level. We'll take the bullish trade. Our first downside target is our first bearish line, 183.25, and then 181.5. On the upside, we're looking at 187, and our Fibit at about 190, right up in here. Right, so that is on Goldman Sachs. Let's go to Priceline. Priceline, we have an open trade on right now. Right, so let's see if anything has changed on Priceline. Our last exit was the 22nd. It was down here. So we've not yet done anything else on Priceline. So that one's going to hold. Everything from last week is going to stay the same. All right, let's go to Tesla. Oops. All right, so let's go do it this way. Let's not save. That's better. Okay, we have an open trade on Tesla right now. No, actually, we had a target hit on Tesla right now. So let's go ahead and start tracking that one in. Tesla. And what had happened was this. We looked at Tesla. We made the same move back up. Our note said we needed to pull back to the 55 and a rollover, and we got it. So on the 25th, 925, we got into Tesla at $250. So the note was bearish with a pullback to the 55 and below 250. It was a two-step entry. Both triggers were hit. Remember, it's only high reliability, guys. I'm not taking a trade unless I've got a high reliability, high repeatability, and high predictability setup. Those are the only ones. All right, so we took our first exit the same day as it moved down to this 246.76 level. Right about 247.5. Same day, 925, and 247.5. We exited out of 4 contracts. All right. Keep the rest of the targets the same, guys, as the last update. And here we have Win. Win, we have an open trade on right now. We got in at 181.90. We got out of 4 of them at 181. It looks like we get stopped out of this trade here now on the 24th. We pulled up high enough on this bearish trade that we're out. So on the 24th, we're out at about 184 is where we're taking our exit on that one. And we had 6 contracts in play there. All right? So now my downside targets, for me to take a re-entry is a breakdown below the 8. We're looking at 181 as our first target, and then 172 is our next downside target. On the upside, 186, and then about 191 are our next place. We had a perfect AB equals CD pattern set up. Very, very nice pattern. Good reversal. Right back into the trading zone here. So really nice setup. So let me go ahead and take a look for you at the results. All right, let me bring the spreadsheet in. And guys, the way our numbers work out, right now on Apple we're up $150 after getting stopped out of those 6 contracts. So we made a little bit. It's kind of a wash trade. Caterpillar, little Caterpillar, we're up $22.25. Priceline, one exit, we're up $9,400. And remember, we have had some of these on our non-funded trades that we've been up $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on Priceline. Right, we're down $900 on Win, not a big hit. We're up $1,600 on Amazon. We're down $50 on Goldman Sachs. That's a closed trade. And Tesla, we are up $1,000. Now, guys, remember, right now we're up $13,425. We're up $719,872 in our closed trades. That leaves us a total P&L for this year from January 28th, so just about 8 months or so. It leaves us, not even, but close. It leaves us $733,000, almost $734,000 of profit in our non-funded trades. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day. God bless, and I'll see you all at the next update. Take care now, folks. Bye.